Paris teams are more likely to push A with the current meta game, so you defend strong against that. B is not so likely, so what they will do is they'll have a strong defense on A, and then they'll come into B. They'll have set smokes, so they smoke off checkers and B storage, and have the right flashes in play to then just completely take over the site altogether as 5. That's actually, it was amazing to see, and that's the most advanced pistol I've seen, but A retake I think is the otherwise the most standard and common. And we are going to see something similar to that. More of a B and mid-side defense from Flipside so far.
Yeah, making their presence known towards mid to start things off here. As PRB is going to actually catch off Simple here, who pushed very aggressive through the smoke. And now, see Polly already on this A bomb site. Could find one or two. Faceit finds one. Now he needs to challenge Blade. And now Rubino, he's rotating around over towards this B bomb site. Very elaborate fake here. Blade still trying to duel here, finally gets the frag onto Polly. The Flipside, they didn't really take the bait as now their players are rotated back over towards B side.
2 on 4, well now 1 on 4 is favourable in the slightest, and Blade is going to get quick shots back to make his way through the vent, and he's going to get eliminated. So LGB pick up the pistol, and Flipside are going to have a bit of a time trying to get themselves back into the game, economically speaking. Now, whether they go for the full investment pistol on, we shall see. So far it is looking like they will have a fairly decent investment there, not going all the way Simple and World Edit, or just Simple actually. Now the dedicated AWPer instead of World Edit. Recent change for them is going to be keeping enough money to be able to purchase the AWP on round 4.
Yeah, we've already seen some aggression come out of LGB there. They were able to tag up Markelov down to about 85 points of health. Blade just going to be re-smoking mid, playing super safe there. Whereas LGB, they're all in a storage now. Flashbangs are going out. Molly goes towards Auckland. As this should be a very easy bomb plant for these guys. He looked like he wanted to get onto rafters, fell down though. Threw some bullets towards Car, but now he's going to get some aggressive on from mid. Go back in towards main.
Okay, so we have an attempt at this retake. Trying to get some damage in here. No kit or anything to speak of indeed. And it's a bit of a shooting gallery a barrel for LGB, as pretty much everyone's going to be claiming a frag. Jaken with the double there. And Jaken's very dangerous. In fact, pretty much everyone on LGB is pretty dangerous these days. I'm going to see the last player going down to PRB. So a lot of money being made by the SMGs. Got a couple kills there. And very clean round for them now as Flipside go into their full save. Will the deal come out from Simple again? Will he do that, or will he be taking things more seriously this time? Will he actually... yeah, it looks like he's going to... Oh, he will get the deagle. I think he did do close to a full save in the previous one. So
yeah, I think he only had a P250 in the previous round, so...
That's okay.
Yeah. That's going to be a double boost up towards mid to start things off. And force their way in here. Rubino with a bit of parkour there, finding the frag onto Blade as well. It's going to be an easy execute towards A. And then come raining in. Bondek down to HB.
I'm not sure what happened there because...
It went off the screen.
Yeah, those names are so long that we will never know. So we can only assume that that was an assist to the death of one of these Flipside players. So 3-0 now, Flipside getting in there by Simple, going to be open it up. Now, I guess it's most likely to see him on the A-bomb sites, playing towards quad most likely. I guess mid is also possible, but that tends to be the kind of single AWPing position if you just have one these days. We don't as much commonly see it on middle. Especially due to the fact that delayed delayed mid plays are kind of how it tends to work out. So having an AWPer mid, it's not really too effectual, but you'll see A main picks, you know, early into the round. So the AWPer can help to deal with that. And we are going to have an execute onto the A bomb site with a lurker in PRB on the B storage area.
Yeah, we're just waiting for these smokes now to come in towards the A side. Markelov just playing super safe. Simple has moved towards mid, but he won't be able to see anything. This was the delayed mid take you were talking about here. Simple just trying to defend against it, but we can tell the LGB, they're going over towards A. They are lining up. The smokes only now just starting to rain in, but it's going to be a complete fake as Simple. He's falling back. As our LGB. Did they just boost up over mid?
Yeah,
I think they did.
That's so cool, isn't it? They've actually rotated Simple out of position with the nades. Now they're going to go for B split. Hoss, this is brilliant.
You are loving this right now. They are going to throw some mollies up towards upper quarter. Markov out of his position, and even up against Armin, this Mac-10 has been able to do some damage. Simple, he finds one frag, however. He does get mollied towards the site. He is able to stop the bomb plant as well. PRB so low here, but is still able to get that frag. It's all on his shoulders now to get the bomb down. 3 versus 2. Flipside, they can of course still retake this, but with only one flashbang, it's certainly going to be hard.
Yeah, it was actually quite cool that Simple sacrificed himself there, because he delayed the bomb from going down for a significant amount of time. It's going to make it impossible here, potentially doable, but Blade cannot pick up the opening kill. He needed to make that happen. If he had pulled off that kill, Bondik could actually commit for this, but he wants to get out of there, will take the frag and back away safely to CT spawn, and unfortunately there was no fast frag from Blade, and not much Bondik can really do from this position. He can't even go and save the AWP. There's nothing for him to really pick up. In fact, interestingly, PRB is on the Mac-10. I guess he couldn't get a good position to pick up a rifle there. There were quite a few on the floor, including an AWP, no less, on the site itself. So that's unfortunate for him. However, LGB will be up against another save, as only Bondik was able to keep hold of his gun. And Flipside outplayed in that round. Just got pushed to a rotation, and the B split came in. Very simple, but very effective.
Yeah, we're still seeing them stick with these Mac-10s because they know they're up against Flipside Eco here, which means no armor. Translated to these Mac-10s doing some damage. Rubino's, however, he won't be able to. Bondik does find him. Bondik gets the second one as well, really making this M4 worth the save. 2 frags already. Flipside, they have the numbers advantage here. Bondik getting another. That's 3 frags for him now.
Yeah, that's kind of absurd. He's actually put it to a 4-on-2. However, Flipside, they can't pick up any of these rifles just yet. Simple might just be going for it right now. And indeed, LGB going to actually evacuate A main area, allowing Simple with a pop flash to pick up a weapon in A main. Here comes the play. What did it with the Deeg? Can't get the quick one shot. It's going to be the entry from JChem onto Markelov that will allow the bomb to go down. Quick 2 frags there, but Bondik in fact comes in, gets his 4th kill. Finally, he is stopped, but Simple without Kevlar, but this time with an AK. In the back, Polly not looking the right way, I don't think. No, indeed not. It's going to be Simple who will get the last frag, but it's a story of Bondik's heroic 4 kill that will lift the spirits of Flipside.
Yeah, certainly will, but LGB, they are far from eco in. Flipside, they're still going to be up against these rifles here. Simple, though, he's picked up this AWP now. Bondik has the AK, of which he was able to reclaim from the dead bodies last round. Where his teammates were, at least. There's Jacob. Going to be boosted up here. Has a very nice angle towards main, but Simple, he's playing from white rather than mid itself. Sees the nade go over, which is an indication of exactly where Simple is right now. Spots it, goes for the repeat. Punishes Simple. We were saying about Simple's riskier plays earlier. They're not paying off here either.
Indeed, indeed. It's going to be Bondik still just chilling over by the A side of the map, and he's definitely feeling himself a little bit. He's going to go in. Perfect timing there. Great flash in for him as he will take down Rubino. JChem crawls up short. He's going to find the snap. Blade. As now Bondik will trade back onto him. So it's a laboured affair again for LGB. 2 players left, PRB and Mystic, as they try to get the site taken. But the bomb is actually down. And it's kind of far away, actually. I think it's behind A main, so this is kind of an issue. 40 seconds left on the clock. Flipside with their full attention, full undivided attention on the bomb site, and they're going to be picking up the remainder. I think maybe LGB a little bit of a chaotic round there. They couldn't keep track of what was going on effectively, and Flipside capitalized very nicely, and they're looking like an actual team again.
Yeah, they certainly are. And this is probably going to be the last gun round they go up against for a while, as LGB starting to show their weakness economy-wise. Simple, though, really needs to get some work done with his AWP, I feel. He died so early on in that he wasn't able to put himself to that defense. This time, though, might be able to find the frag.
You can see the single scope here. He's afraid that the player will actually pop out of the smoke at the same time as someone goes over the top. A combined play. And now he's limited his angle to deal with anyone pushing forwards towards the vent area. So a little bit afraid of that kind of a play, or maybe welcoming it, as he would like to get some kills. But either way, LGB just toying with them at the moment. Very slow, and in fact, Simple's actually going to go for the rotate, having read into this that a B play might be afoot. But that's going to allow LGB to take 2 players onto mid, and the B split indeed will go as they had planned.
Yeah, well, Simple gets one hit from upper, tries to get the second, but it won't connect. They know this player rejected, he can't go any further there. I believe that's Rubino, tagged very, very low. Simple gets another, Wild Edit now going to push, as with Markelov. And that's the Simple we like to see. 2 quick frags for him, letting the rest of his team finish off the job as well, putting a lot of pressure down just with that AWP.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. I mean, LGB with a telegraph B play, but this time they didn't try to fake out their opponents. We saw that they did a similar sort of thing towards A previously, then they faked it, and then they got the rotation from Simple, but he went to A instead of B, and that seemed to be the point of success for them, not allowing Simple to be part of the initial defense so they can get the bomb down. And if LGB can't find more ways to trick the rotation of Flipside, they might run into a very strong CT half from Flipside indeed. But here comes the eco play into the bomb site. They need to get the bomb planted here. That is the objective. Can they pull it off?
Well, Simple with another clean headshot there, Bonde. But has spotted 1 or 2 players here. Is able to get one. Sprays for the second as well. Blade finishes off Rubino there. We're now all even for the first time. The question now, though, is can Flipside take the lead? LGB still yet to pick up an AWP, and it looks like they're not going to go for one here either. So still sticking with these AKs. They need to try and dispatch Simple again. He's been getting these entry frags, or these early picks, in the LGB rushes that have really just stopped them in their tracks and weakened the Norwegian side.
It's like they want to go for an A execute. I would love to see from them just a middle take and just sitting on it. Like get an early middle take, sit on it for a while, and then just see if you can get a reaction out of Flipside, or even a pick along the way. But we are going to see again, the A execute is going to be coming in as these nades do a rain in a hail onto that A bomb site. But lots of counter grenades here. TRB going to just alleviate Simple from the burden of his legs with that AK-47. Going in for another one, almost getting the 3rd kill as well, but the support is there from JChem as Rubino comes in from mid and is able to take a quick frag as he now goes back into safety. 2 against 1. Really smart decision for Rubino to drop back down to support his teammate as well as it comes in from shorts.
Walden now knows exactly where JChem is right now. He does also have eyes on A main. He's going to have 2 players to contend with here. It's about which one can he pick first. It looks like it's going to be neither. As JChem is going to get that frag and keep LGB's lead going here. 5-4. Flipside, though, again, it's kind of the story that LGB had earlier, and they're not going to be eco in for a while. They've built up a good amount of bank.
I really love the decision there from, I mean, the way the plant was with the 2 players left, they actually created a perfect crossfire. There can never be a situation where one of the players is not, where there's a one-on-one for the T's there. And Roderick actually read that. He knew that was the case, and there was just not a lot he could really do about it unless he had some grenades to work with. So smart play on the crossfire there, and it's going to be now potentially a bit of harassment where Blade is, and Simple in fact taking himself to a different part of the map early on. He's over by A main looking for a pick, and he's not going to find it just yet. In fact, he's actually pushing towards A main. This is a very JW type play. That's something JW used to do all the time, pushing on his own like he had a rifle in his hands, but instead no, he's got an AWP, and he's making the close range plays into A main. But that's going to give Flipside a massive edge on the information.
Yeah, he may not have found anything here, but he has been able to keep his AWP in his hands while getting this information, which can sometimes be a lot better than trading, say, 1-for-1 and losing the AWP here. Especially on this CT side, where if they lose that first trade, then they have to split their resources and make one side considerably weaker than the other.
That smoke was just timed to perfection by Wadda. That he's like funneling them through checkers, and now the incendiary, again, perfectly timed grenade. All because Simple knows exactly what's going on and is communicating it to his team. This is completely wrecking LGB at the moment before they can come in.
Yeah, Markelov, he's just spotted some as well. They're going to be hopping around here, our LGB. Simple's going to come to the flank from behind. Markelov gets a very nice spray for 2 frags. Probably though, he's able to get 1 on the board as well. Well did it with a nice hold 2.
Beautiful.
He gets the last frag around. Really nice intel play there and teamwork from Flipside.
Yeah, there was not a second in that round where Flipside did not know almost exactly where everyone from LGB was, all because of that play from Simple. That's a really nice mix-up as well, because previously they were just playing quite passively, quite reactively, but here Flipside take a round and they're like, okay, let's get a proactive play in here for some info and mix it up, and that's exactly what gave them the round win. Now, if they can keep LGB on their toes on this CT side, then they can have a really strong half here. It's beginning to look really good in their money. If they pick this one up cleanly, then they're going to have even more security. In comes the push with the pistols. That's a bit of a spray down. Markov should actually be able to finish this off, but he's whipped a few too many shots by headshot, and it's a bit awkward now. Gonna have to rely on some teammates. If we just get a knife, we did. PRV just gonna stab Markov, take some chunks out of him with that knife. That's kind of nice. $1,500 for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what LGB needed though. They wanted to get the bomb plant down. That's what they got. And they got 2 kills as well in there. I mean, they did some economical damage, but they lost the round still. 6-5 now. Flipside take the lead for the first time this game, and LGB, they can put a buy together. They should have a good amount of grenades now. I'd really like to see a classic A execute. Smokes, mollies, force Flipside out of their positions.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the approach is. Has Flipside ever changed their setup? What are LGB going to do to try to disrupt it? Are they going to go for just another straight up A execute? I guess they've been liking their success rate with this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as the saying goes. And that is going to be the approach here. They've left one man in A main close, and he can get the pop flashes in there. But Simple, he's looking to get a shot in, and he's going to take down PRB. He's going to just get ahead of this push and look for more kills. And that is going to be a really round-breaking play here from the dedicated AWPer in Simple. But in comes Polly with the spray down. Perfect response. Can save the round for his team.
Yeah, Blade is just going to hop over here. Stops the bomb from getting planted there on the edge of the smoke. That's big. Flipside, man. 3-on-3 now as Mystic can't poke his head up because of this fire. He's now going to get flashed as well from CT side. The bomb is yet to go down. Flipside have this surrounded right now. We still have Jacob in Squeaky. He opens the door, doesn't spot anything. Mystic, he has a height advantage, but he can't really use it right now. Or can he? He gets one frag on the world edit. That's the second now from Jacob. And there's just Bondic left. They know exactly where he is. They could surround him here. And that fight can only go one way. He's able to spray down, turning things into a 1 versus 1. Bondic's very, very low, however. One shot to anywhere on the body from Mystic. And this is the LGB round.
He's giving away his position. This could be the advantage, and indeed Bondic gets...
Wow.
Oh, he doesn't get the instant shot. Mystic knows he should never have picked that kill up, and he will save the round. Oh dear, that really should have been Flipside's at the end there after Mystic was thunderfooting around in A main. But I do like the attempt to get the plant there for short, actually, as they had 2 players in mid, but maybe a little bit too overeager. But either way, Flipside back onto their regular setup, and Polly going to be looking for a fast pick. Here it is. Yes, he's going to pick it up onto Simple, and that is crippling. We have seen that Simple has been the really the backbone of the defense for Flipside so far.
Yes, Rubino is just going to poke his head out here. Little does he know that the place is right, or does he? I believe that was Bondic, now down to 44 points of health. Rubino is actually going to get pushed here. He's going to get the spray down onto Bondic again. Now we're 5 versus 3, almost 2 as Blade drops down to 14 HP.
Really playing the picks here to perfection. The quick timing frag onto Simple really kicked things off here for LGB. And Flipside now, they're in a lot of trouble. They're in a position where they kind of need to gamble, actually. And put, I mean, they should consider just putting 3 players to one site. If they don't go to that site, just save the guns. If they do go to the site, you got a strong defense. Could be a good way to approach the situation, but it's going to be left up to World Edit here to come out huge. Problem is that he'll be up against 4 players, might have a good position, but he will soon be running out of bullets. Oh no, he's going to move at the worst point. Okay, the grenades will telegraph, and he goes for the pop flash. Oh, it's actually pretty good here, but doesn't get all of them flashed, and it's a frag almost for free, as J-Cam will claim the bomb site, and the save has to come in for Flipside.
Yeah, this is going to be the bomb plant for LGB. And the question, do they chase down Blade and Markelov here? Do they try and grab these weapons back? Looks like we're going to see one LGB player try and scout out. That is Mystic going towards T-spawn. As Blade is scoped in, ready and waiting. He is able to find that frag on to PRB there. So they are going to stop chasing him down now. The LGB round with Flipside successfully saving their final 2 rifles there. Blade drops the AWP, he's saved to Simple. LGB still have the AWP on Poly, and they drop the AK to PRB.
All right, so 6-7, and LGB actually picking up a lot of T rounds. They used to be, when in the Zeva's incarnation of LGB, they used to be famous for being a team where they were legit way stronger on their T sides than their TT sides. And well, we're still seeing remnants of that. Looking for another A execute. They've been favoring this, even the times when it's kind of been a fake. They've been favoring this kind of an opening. Now, previously, we saw Simple blowing this up with an aggressive play in, and now they want to get played on that. That's what they're trying to do. The telegraphed move from LGB does allow this reaction from the CTs, and that's the disadvantage you have from going for this. But Blade's still pushing it, and he's actually going to get a trade situation as the play comes into B, and indeed, the fake has worked. It's delayed the players from A, and Flipside are in trouble.
Yes, they certainly are. It's just WorldEdit on his side. He's able to get one frag, however. Trying to spray for the second, is able to do that as well. WorldEdit with the one-man hold for now. Now puts JKM and PRB as the last two remaining here. 2 versus 4. Makes that 1 versus 4 as Markelov. PRB, the last man standing. They're going to flashbang him. Absolutely surround him. Does find one frag before he goes down, but WorldEdit there, the holder of the B-bomb site.
7-7 then, so not really a bad half from LGB at all on the T side. Cash and Flipside really need to claim this last one. I must say, I wonder if they're going to go for any kinds of aggression or what they're going to do in this situation, if they just play it passively as they have been doing. And again, all those smokes from LGB, they've actually found a way to make that play actually find an advantage in the inherent disadvantages of the play against them. And I'll explain that in a little bit more depth later on, as we do have a bit of a mid-take coming in from LGB, and Jake has the great position. Will finish off Simple there, and he's wrapping around here, distracting them from all sides, but Blade will still live. That's really important there. Player on door could not get the frag, and that's going to slow things down here for LGB, and Blade's going to go straight in. What a flash there from Flipside. They reclaim A main, and they are getting ahead once again of the push of LGB.
Yeah, with PRB coming from this angle now, he should be able to get that one frag, and he does so on the basis that Blade was already tagged down. We're now 3 versus 3 with not the greatest of guns, making that 3 versus 2. And one of the AKs goes down, but PRB says, I don't need a good rifle, I could just headshot with the scout. Now 1 versus 2. He has a big, big job ahead of him if he wants to win this half for his team. With 30 seconds left, he needs to get the bomb down sooner rather than later, as flashbangs and they come raining in, but there it is. WorldEdit finishes off the half 8-7 in favor of Flipside.
Yeah, good, really good response. I loved how Flipside are actually playing aggressively into that situation where the smokes were coming over the top. Again, so just to explain this a little bit, there's 2 ways to do those A executes. Obviously, of course, you can do it all the way from the back where it's very telegraphed. You have to run in. It takes ages to get in there and stuff, and that's still quite strong because all the nades are down on the site. You cut off all the rotations, and so that's really, really strong. You can do a lot with the entries if you're hitting the shots, throwing out the pop flashes, getting the molotovs and nades in the back of the bomb site. It's very hard to hold, even if they know it's coming. But that is the disadvantage. So the way Flipside were playing against it is by actually pushing into A main. But what we saw there is that often there would at least be like one player there, and they were forcing that to happen from Flipside. So now Flipside have to push it because they're afraid of the fake. Yeah. So they've created this amount of doubt that what happens is the guy on mid has to rotate because they've seen what looks like an A rush come in, and he can't easily stay there. It's easier for the short guy to be then taking care of middle instead. And then maybe the B play comes in. So what's actually going to happen? They have to go and find out, and that's what we saw them being forced to do. It's
kind of like a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing going on there, where you're not entirely sure of whether it's an A take or not until you definitely find out, and that's what LGB are forcing Flipside to do.
Yeah, it's very, very cool, actually. However, I do believe we have a rather funny situation on our hands. I think Flipside just were like, hey guys, we want a 10-minute break. So if do we have any updates on this, Producer Reese? Okay, so we will cut to a break, guys. We'll give them a few moments, and we'll be back as quickly as we can. There'll of course be a little notification. Look out for that. If there is an extended delay, that will tell you what's going on. And we'll see you in a moment. All right, guys, we're back into the mix. Simple has returned, which is great, and we are going to continue as if nothing ever happened, because 8-7 first half there. Flipside not having the easiest time against LGB's T side. So if LGB were to actually pick up the pistol here on their TT, that's going to be a pretty strong start, to be honest, for them.
Yeah, certainly will. They went, I believe, 6 rounds to the good in that first half after coming off the back of a pistol round win. So should they repeat that now, it would put them in a really, really good standing to take this map. Now, they've already got picked up 1 kill there. That was on to Simple.
A retake opening here from them as well, and there's just Faceit just looking for picks.
Has picked up the deagle, finds the 1 deagle for Rubino, so they do trade that frag 1 for 1. Looks like Flipside, they're going to go for what looks to be a B split here. There is one player lurking in checkers, and they're not even going to check him. Only now is one spotting him. He would find that after getting a few shots. As PRB's nade does drop blade, so we're 3 versus 3, more or less on this site. We have all 5 players now left here.
And they are making quite a go of this off Flipside despite the early disadvantage. What is it? Now in with the Glock. On 1, and the bomb is on his back, so he might be able to do something here as he could get around these players. Wants to get the quick 1-on-1. There's Polly. This would be such a big frag from What it, but he won't pick it up. Polly smart to evade that engagement, and time is now of the essence as 15 seconds are left. And oh my God, What is actually going to try to juke them here? I don't know if they. Oh no, they haven't spotted it, and he's going to get the bomb planted on B. What an absolute hero! Well did it, outsmarting LGB. And they're like, oh God.
Did we really fall for that?
Oh, and he could get a quick 1-on-1 here. This would be massive if he takes a frag against Mystic here. But Mystic will spot him, and now he just has to delay for his teammate. But there it is. What are they? You can see how hard he's trying to get this duel, but it's not going to happen.
One of the LGB players has a kit as well. Has he got this defuse? I think he does. Oh, wow.
What a pistol round. That was nuts.
That was insane. That was such nice play from both teams.
And I wonder if they'll just force it up here. I mean, there is a lot of merit to forcing it up here after getting the bomb plant there. And indeed, they are actually going to go for it. The surprise buy. Now, with a situation like this, you kind of want to get a fast execute in, hit them before they know what's going on, and without giving away anything. Simple, of course, with the Deeg. He can give it away that he has a Deeg, as that is... you just always expect him to have a Deeg, but he's actually going to go over the top here. Safe position with the AK, and against these FAMAS and SMGs, it's going to have a big advantage here as well on the aim duels.
Yeah, it really is. Also the fact that they took out so many LGB members that they lost their armor, so they have to force buy that above probably the guns, whereas Flipside, they've got a good amount of weapons, they've also got armor, they've got nades to work with here as well. They can really catch LGB out. They've taken control of aim already, and Simple, that's the sign that there's an AK on the field. Gets a headshot to Rubino. And Bonding looks to add to that tally. They try and just gone up there. They're going to start pushing him as they spot out a second player here. That is PRB now. Polly does get the return. Mystic gets one as well. This is turning into a rather decent hold coming out from LGB. The bomb's still yet to go down. 30 seconds on the clock. And only now is Markov going to start tapping in those numbers.
This is going to be tough for Jacob with just a P90. It's these rifles. Markov going to turn the corner, find the frag. He is stumbling around, blinded by a flashbang. And the round will go to Flipside with their surprise buy after that bomb plant. And I do really like it when teams go for that, because you can see the impact that it has. Because now they won the round. And again, they had advantages, a lot of advantages with that buy. And they win the round. And boom, LGB. They get $1,400 from losing that round. They got $1,900 from losing this one, which will put them around about like 34 to 4K-ish. So in the early stages of the match, you'd assume that they would opt to actually just go for a double eco, and I think that is likely. Although we are seeing, yeah, okay, we've got pistol on 2 players, so yeah, the double eco is definitely coming here from LGB.
Yeah, it certainly is. They've invested definitely quite a bit into this one, so the CZ is going to try and stay alive here, try and get these picks, and keep the money they've invested. Whereas the 3 USPs are likely to be a little bit more wild. They have nothing to lose, and Jacob just moving back so he has a vantage point, splitting between the two because he knows they have no mid presence here.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure if he didn't have a helmet. That kill came quite easily to Polly there, but he will be tapped down by the MP7 of Blade. Simple will get a quick compliment there to Polly. but it will not stop the inevitable, which is the take of this side. Or will it? We have the CZ coming in. Rubino with a double. That's massive there. 2 players left for Flipside. So insane damage accrued, considering the fact that it was just 2 pistol armors and the rest had full eco. And PRB, oh my god, so low. Pulls out the Galil he just picked up. Oh, can't get it done. Worded it will survive somehow, some way. But PRB is still able to pull out this clutch, I think.
Yeah, he has Galil, he has armor as well, and if needed, he can switch to that CZ75. Worded though, with that MP7, is going to find the frag to finish things off. On such low health as well, that was so doable for the LGB man, but just was looking the wrong way. Got caught off guard a little bit there.
Indeed, but that is definitely a good amount of damage considering the very limited investment. Very cost-efficient round for LGB as Flipside go up 10-8, and LGB are into the second save, and this is so much... I mean, this should be a really good opportunity for Flipside to have a clean round. That should be their focus here. They don't want to build... Sorry, they don't want to allow LGB to do any more economic damage, and they've got a bit of a B stack going on at the moment. 3 players there for LGB. 1 spotting mid and 1 close on forklift. So looking for those close range engagements with those pistols. Very standard from the Norwegians.
Yeah, whereas Flipside, we can more or less see the line across the map that they've set themselves here. They don't want to pass it, just holding their angle. Simple though, he's going to go for a push here. They're not able to find Jacob in fact, so Jacob gets an AK for more or less free. Blader could try and take him down, but his eyes are on PRB to start things off. Jacob there drops, hit the CZ2 as Bunny and Rubino, because he has that AK, finds the frag onto Blade. Well, that he gets one with his AWP as well.
So frag's actually being made here, and JChem has every opportunity to pick up a second and has some armor on him, and the AK-47 as well, as the bomb is going to be planted here by Flipside. Bondik by Forklift at the moment, going to go for the quick peek very shortly, and JChem is so wary of that angle, but soon you'll have to look at the quad angle as well. We've got the play over the top, but actually, it will drop down, and still, they know Bondik's there, but Markov is going to be the one to find the frag on the side, and the round will be closed out by Flipside, so excellent hold by them in the end, but LGB, they are doing so much damage round after round. You can really see the impact it's having on Flipside.
Yeah, just look at Simple and Blade, and that's your example. Blade on literally nothing. Simple on 150, can't even afford a full set of grenades here. LGB, they've been relentless with the amount of pressure they've been putting on Flipside economically here, just by getting these frags. And it really does show, and now on this buy round, should they win it, Flipside are going to be in a horrible, horrible position.
And we have Simple already trying to pick into the B-bomb site and the players towards checkers, and there it is, the first little altercation. And you can get a lot done as a single player there, trying to outplay the guy on checkers or the player on the site. Simple, however, will back away. He knows when he's lost his advantage, albeit a small one, but it was a slight advantage he had there. Now it's the 1-3-1 play from LGB, as they have a lot of info. They don't have anyone close to the boost, so they'll have less sound cues than maybe they would like. And Flipside going to go for a delayed mid-take or attempt to do so, but before they can get it done, Polly's going to find a shot into its head, and that is going to make life very difficult. Still though, they are going to want to push the issue. They want that mid control, going to throw over the grenades, and whoever can come out the victor here might just win the round, because there's a lot of resources here for both teams. That flick was stellar there from Simple. Exactly what you'd expect. And Flipside have themselves middle.
That is how you take mid. Simple, really, really nice play from him. Such a good AWPer. And this is what we wanted to see from him after that showing on Inferno. He didn't really have the best game there, but he's really coming into his own now on this cash map. As Marklov hopping his way out. Off Squeaky. Spots the player. Gets in on the second pick. And now this A site is Flipside's for the taker. They're going to get the bomb down. And now it's up to LGB to try and retake this. 2 versus 3. Certainly doable, but they could also take the option to save these 2 weapons.
Absolutely. They're very low though, these 3 players for Flipside. So LGB with a nice opportunity to get this done as they make their way in. JChem going to find the first frag, as we have now Markov and Blade remaining, looking for some response, and they're going to get a fantastic response in fact. Picking up the AWP there, Blade at the end to throw back on to his comrade Simple. And LGB going to be down another round. They aren't without these great opportunities, but Flipside are just able to clinch it each time.
Yeah, they Exactly, and it forces LGB onto this eco. We've seen them do damage with CZ before. We've seen them apply quite a bit of pressure with this kind of buy. If they could do the same here again, get 2-3 frags, then it keeps that pressure on flip side. Well done, it missing that first shot there. Gets it on the reface. As Bondic, that's...
Names are so long.
Yeah.
When there's an assist, it's just like, nope.
No, you can't see who died.
I guess it must have been Bondic, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah. Looking pretty good here. Flip side, as they should come together onto a play now. You'd expect potentially... Well, I mean, either B or A is fine at this point. They have everyone together in middle, more or less, so they can do whatever. As long as they stick together, they can do anything. And Blade will take down Polly, and Simple is just left to try to harass into B as well. And in fact, his teammates are going to join him on the effort. Blade going to pop flash his way into checkers, and Simple will find an extra player. Just JKM left now with the CZ, and he's even going to get smoked off. Oh, somehow finds the headshot there. That's quite nice, but it's not really going to be, well, amount to much. It's going to be small consolation in the face of another round loss.
Yeah. Again, though, they've done some damage. They've got 2 flanks here, looking for a third. Run out of bullets, 6 left, and that just essentially gives Blade time to get out of there. As now it's Wild Edit invent. Run out of the bullets again. Changes the knife. Wild Edit picks that one up. And flip side now, 13 to 8. They're starting to almost hit that magic number 16 where they take this first map.
Indeed, it's not looking too shabby here for flip side. We can ignore that Inferno game earlier, just completely ignore it because it was an absolute anomaly. There we go. Oh, once again, Simple proving consistent on the flick shot there as Jacob tries to spot over the white box, but in he goes for next player over by B Storage. But Markloff actually finds a kill to Rubino as well, so 4 against 3 now. LGB, there's only 25 seconds passed in the round. They've lost 3 players already. This shouldn't really be winnable for LGB at this point. PRB over by Truck is going to be bait to an AWPer if he's not careful. But the smoke will come in, and that's actually going to help PRB a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, he is there at the back. Blade is going to be jumping up. Gets the headshot, and now it's just down to Polly here. You'd like to think he'd potentially save this AWP here. Just peek and see where these players are. Seeing if he can get that one exit pick here. But other than that, you'd like to think he's going to play safe, take this into the next round, because LGB's economy is very, very fragile right now.
Indeed. Let's see if he can get a quick kill, though. One of it scanning. There it is. Gets the spot. And Polly's like, nope. I'm done. Here. And I mean, often we see players looking for if they get that one really fast frag, then like, okay, now it's doable. But I think Polly was only sticking around to see if they put themselves in good positions. But oh, well done it. Somehow surviving that. Even getting the kill, in fact. So Polly will lose his AWP in the end, and always significant to actually lose an AWP. If the AWP is in the right place at the right time, you can win around with it. You don't need any support necessarily, or just some pistoling players will do. But 14 to 8, and Flipside are looking like they're having a rather good showing at the moment. I believe map 2 was Mirage?
Yep.
Yeah, Mirage and no pass, I think it was. So,
and after Flipside's performance on Mirage yesterday, I'd like to think they'd taken that map probably something like 16-7, 16-8 potentially, if LGB turn up. But right now you can see what this pressure has done to them. Because they weren't able to save the AWP, we've got Rubino on a P90 rather than the luxury of the FAMAS here. If they're to save the AWP, Polly would have dropped this FAMAS potentially in M4 because he wouldn't have had to invest into the armor. So he would have had that extra bit of cash on the league as well.
So far LGB, they've only put 1 round on the board on the CT side, and that was a pistol. So they haven't actually been able to win any of their buys. Not even close at this point. Well, some close rounds, but of course there's not been a convincing defense. We have a great pick there from what a reaction there, taking down PRB, who looked for the trade, and he will be sorely disappointed and in the face of Wada, it's AWP. And another round, it would seem, for Flipside, 5 players alive against the 2 remainder of LGB, which is Mystic and Polly with the FAMAS on either player. But it is going to be it's going to be 15 rounds for Flipside.
Yep, putting them to map point to take them 1 game closer to qualifying for the Faceit EU League. Mystic does get one extra frag here. Almost gets the second. He's just going to flash his way back. Play super safe. Could potentially get 1 or 2 here. He'd like to probably save this FAMAS, so he takes it through to the next round, so he actually has some firepower for this final round. But for now, he's just there at car. Gonna get chased down by Blade here, it seems. Nope, Blade has other options. He's gonna pick up Simple's ult. And there it is, match point. It's on your screens, 15-8 in favour of Flipside up against LGB. And LGB, they can put a buy together here. It's not great, but it's certainly better than nothing.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but at least they have some nades here. So look, they can get another advantage with maybe a quick aggression somewhere, but they don't have anyone positioned for that. They're playing actually very passively instead, and no one close on middle either. And might just be a quick take of the A bomb site from Flipside, looking for very fast entries, not telegraphing this at all actually. I don't think they've thrown any grenades so far. They're just going to walk straight in here, and indeed there are the nades. So last second telegraphing movement, 2 quick entries, and Flipside with a very sick entrance into the A bomb site. And I like that they recognize, hey guys, all we have to do is just walk into A main, throw nades, and get the kills. And that's the simple play that they needed, was effective, and will win them this map, it would seem, as there is no coming back here for PRB, I'm afraid. 1 against 5, what is it? It's like, nope, you are done, my friends. So, 16-8, very, very dominant second half by Flipside. A respectable T side from LGB, but that's something that tends to be expected from LGB. It's in their history. Our T sides are good, CT is where we struggle.
Yeah, and that CT side as well, something like Flipside gave Wild Edit some freedom on that AWP. He was able to pick it up. He got a few frags on the board as well.